Hi there. So I want to have a very important conversation with you about filing your taxes and TikTok. Barely 9 days to go and counting, really. And can I do thank yous? I want to thank every student who has stopped me in the malls and on the streets and said, thank you, I filed and I got my amnesty. I want to thank every mother. By the way, sorry, it's a moms before dads. Every mom who came up to me and says, I've sorted out my kids, because you didn't know that university students need to file their tax returns and they got their amnesty, and every dad as well. I've got to. However, the people who have given me the most headaches is diaspora. And I love you for responding, hiya, do you know you guys took that video and it went, and then I realized there are questions I couldn't answer. So I found a person who could, and her name is Nyambura. Nyambura is, give me your title, it's very important. If mother is listening, she needs to know.
Oh yeah, she needs to know.
She needs to know. So let's do this properly.
So my title is, I'm a manager in tax advisory at Andersen.
At Andersen.
Yes.
So diaspora asked questions, and I realized some of them I don't have answers to. And it's horrible when you put something out and people ask real, genuine questions. And I'm sitting there thinking, I do not know. So I will start with everybody who came from Githunguri, Vihiga, Makueni County, almost 10 years ago. And they have asked, I left before I got a PIN. And in fact, they must have left. No, they left over 15 years ago.
They did.
They left over 15 years ago. They got, because they had an ID, they got a passport. Got a passport, they left.
Yeah.
And they're now sitting in Minnesota. I'm with the Kisses. They're now sitting in Minnesota. And they're like, I actually want to come back home. I'm in my mid-30s. I don't have a KRA PIN. What do I do? I'm grown.
They are grown and they don't have a career PIN.
No.
In fact, getting a career PIN is the easiest step.
Oh.
Because as long as you have a Kenyan ID, you can just go on the career website and do the application for a career PIN. You just put in your details, your, the correct email address, your postal address, your profession and everything. And within minutes, you'll have...
They'll generate.
It will be generated and sent to your email within minutes. So getting a career PIN is a very quick and easy step.
So once again, we're talking, and we know these people. They left by the time they were 19.
Yeah.
Some of us are our family members.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're now in their early 40s. They're like, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
I'm coming home. I want to buy property. I want to settle in Kenya. But once that PIN is generated, we file immediately.
Yes.
This one.
Yes.
Because what we don't want to do is get into the next financial year. Because let's just say the day is the 22nd of June. And I take Nyambura's advice and I apply for a KRA PIN because I need it.
Yes.
I'm coming home in 6 months. Once it's generated, it's active.
It is. It is. In fact, the moment you apply for a career PIN, you immediately get an income tax obligation that will begin on that date. Yeah? And you'll be required to file for income tax returns in the next financial year. Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know we can apply for one if we left Kenya at 18, 15 years ago. How about, and this one, by the way, I will read it for you. It says, I don't even know my PIN number. I don't even know where that card is. That tells you how old this person is, because we used to get a card before iTax, remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So when a person says, I don't even know my PIN number, I've forgotten it. I don't think KRA has a database where you can go and just search Mutoko Caroline Dinda and it brings up.
No, you would have to get in touch with KRA, send an email to KRA, have your scanned ID, email it to KRA, and then they will respond back with your PIN number and guide you on how to register your PIN number on iTax. Because there's a huge number of people who don't have their PINs migrated to iTax. So, oh yeah, there is. People who migrated many years ago when there was a mass exodus of people going to the US,
to Australia,
to the UK.
Belgium, Germany.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's no database where you just go in and say, this is my name, this is my ID.
You have to get in touch with KRA. It's also for security reasons, because you don't
actually, yes, you don't want your PIN out there floating.
Exactly. So you don't want to anyone to be able to just search your PIN as Carol.
No, I don't.
Exactly.
Okay, so you get in touch with KRA.
Get in touch with KRA.
Which brings me to the other thing. I don't know how to cancel my KRA PIN.
Now, as an individual, I would never advise anyone to apply for cancellation of a KRA PIN. Alternatively, I would recommend for application of dormancy.
Oh.
If, let's say, you've migrated, you've left the country, you've gone to study.
Okay.
And you're not earning an income in that country.
Yes.
You can apply for dormancy so that you don't have to file for income tax returns.
Okay.
While you're away and while you're not earning an income. However, the moment you earn an income, and that income is deemed to be earned in Kenya,
Yes.
you have to start declaring that income in Kenya, because you don't want to run into trouble with KRA in the future.
Okay, so, and I have to speak to parents here. Your son or daughter is 19. They have gotten a place in Australia, Malaysia, Germany, England, wherever they're going. The idea is apply for dormancy.
Exactly.
Because they're going to be students, they're not going to be working.
Exactly. And they will not be earning income.
And they will not be earning income.
Exactly.
And on their return, you can then remove the dormancy and not find yourself owing either penalties or interest.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you trying to say, you're not trying to say, you're saying there's no such thing as cancelling a PIN?
For an individual, your PIN will outlive you. And let me tell you why I'm saying that. We will all die. And when we do, if you're lucky enough to have acquired property or to have a bank account or money in your bank account, all of these assets are pegged on
your PIN.
And you will want to transfer all of these assets to your loved ones, to your next of kin.
Yes.
And while you're in the ground, buried, they will continue to try and move, move around your assets to their names.
Yes.
And they will need your PIN.
So your PIN will outlive you?
Your PIN will outlive you.
That is a very good thing to know.
It is.
It's a very good thing to know. Back to diaspora questions.
Yeah.
Diaspora also asked, aren't I being taxed? Why am I filing in Kenya and aren't I being taxed twice? Let me explain this. Okay. I believe that there's a lot of our people in the diaspora who have a school here, they have rental income here, they have to pay. They have to pay taxes on that income.
They must.
And the IRS on the other side is doing their part. So it's not double taxation.
No, it's not.
It's not. I thought that's important to clarify.
It's very important because if the business is here and you're earning that income here in Kenya, that is income that is deemed to have been earned in Kenya.
Okay.
So you must declare that income in Kenya and pay the taxes in Kenya. While the Kenyans in diaspora definitely have other income that they're earning abroad, it is not deemed to be earned in Kenya until they step foot in Kenya.
Okay.
Because the moment they step foot in Kenya at JKIA and you have your passport stamped as a Kenyan, it's deemed that you have a home in Kenya.
Your
Therefore,
domicile? Yes.
Any global income that you earn is deemed to have been earned in Kenya. But before anyone cries that there might be some sort of double taxation there, as you're declaring that income in Kenya, you're allowed to offset any income you've paid abroad.
Okay.
As you're filing your income here in Kenya.
And if that sounds complicated, we are going to put the number here for you to get in touch with Nyambura. I can see diaspora leaning in and saying, so diaspora will visit us twice a year. They usually come in August and December. As you land, and passport is stamped, your blue one, your Kenyan passport.
Your income is earned in Kenya.
Your income is earned in Kenya. I just wanted you to know. I've just seen this one. It's just what you explained, but I wanted to read it again very nicely. I left before I had a PIN, never filed returns as I left when I was 19 years old. I am now 36. So this person needs to, I've never had a PIN. I've never had a PIN.
So for people who never had a PIN,
yes,
if you want to get involved with economic activities in Kenya,
if you want to be compliant,
yes, you'll need to have a PIN in Kenya. I mean, because one day, east or west, home is best.
Yes,
anyone who's gone abroad, one day, hopefully, they will all come back.
They'll come back. Yes,
you'd want to retire here. Buy property here, invest here, and have interests in Kenya.
Yes.
So they will one day need a PIN. So it's best to get your affairs in order in Kenya early on. And the moment they apply for the PIN, it's very important to make sure that they remain compliant from the moment
they
they acquire that PIN.
But this amnesty period is crucial because chances are maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago you left. We're not even talking about the guys who left, you know, even before we knew the words ITAX.
Yeah.
In just the last 10 years, you know that you've had an active PIN.
Yes.
You've done nothing with it. You need to get onto the portal. This is where you correct me. I'm trying to do it step by step.
Yeah.
You already know what your login is.
Yes.
Go to your ledger. It will bring up anything you owe.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you haven't filed your, even if they're nil, so long as that PIN has been active,
Yes.
it's sitting around.
Yeah. It's just...
It attracted a penalty
It did.
and an interest on that penalty.
Yeah.
But in the next 10 days, actually, you told me midnight what?
On 30th of June at midnight,
Yes.
the amnesty will be over.
And it makes no sense to wake up on the 2nd of July and say, damn.
Yeah, I should have paid that principal. Because the moment you pay the principal, you get your amnesty.
Yes.
Exactly.
And if really, you, like for example, for students, you really did not have anything, because you did not file a nil,
Exactly.
it's your penalties and interest.
Yes.
And once you sort that out,
Yeah, for students, once they file the nil, it's for students who don't have income. Because students have side hustles.
yes, they do.
Yeah. So for students who don't have income, once they file their nil return, and you know it's filed, and you pay, if at all there's any principal, pay the principal, the penalties and interests will just be wiped off
Okay.
through the amnesty program.
I had told you I only wanted to touch on 5 things that I saw reoccurring on the questions, and you've really cleared them, but I think you've also created a sense of, oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't even want to add anything, but is there anything else you'd really like to tell a friend or someone who you think is in diaspora and a bit lost on where they should be, especially with the amnesty in the next 9 to 8 days, next 1 week as they catch this video?
Yeah, time is running out, and that's the truth. So to anyone who's in diaspora and they need help, they can reach out.
Reach out.
Exactly.
It's actually easier to let somebody else handle it for you.
Exactly.
Yes.
And everyone's issue is unique.
Yes.
So I can't make one statement that would cover everyone.
True.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we'd have to address each and everyone's issue.
I'm just imagining those who
on a
got
personal
married.
level.
That's a whole other thing.
It's a whole other story.
Because I have seen that Excel sheet.
Yeah.
So, when you open up, you're like, where do we go here?
Yeah. So when trying to file the return, there's once you download the Excel sheet for anyone who's earned income abroad, you can't just do the typical. For us who are employed, it's quite easy to file.
It's P9.
Yeah, it's a P9 and you put it up.
Yes.
So for anyone who's earning income in the diaspora, there is a line that you have to check and select yes.
Yes.
There's a line where you're asked on the basic information sheet
Yes.
on whether or not you're earning any income
Yes.
from foreign income.
Yes.
Yeah. So once you fill in that sheet, once you select yes on that sheet, it will activate a new worksheet within the return for you to be able to declare
that
income from abroad. And it also has a provision for you to put any tax that you paid abroad.
Okay.
So that it reduces. It sort of gives you, what do I call it? Like a relief of whatever taxes you've paid abroad.
Of course.
It reduces the amount you'd have to pay here in Kenya.
Exactly. And which is also another reason to do it.
Exactly.
That's it. I said this conversation was for diaspora. If you've got questions, yes, you may comment below, but can I suggest you get in touch with Nyambura? Because if there's one thing you've done is that you have typed on my timeline. Yes, you have. And I thank you. Nyambura, thank you.
Thank you.
This has been wonderful. Thank you so much.